afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another class of marketing research. In our part 2 of this lecture on data preparation and cleaning, we will be discussing some major issues in data cleaning. In part 1, we discussed the fundamental steps of data preparation, including data cleaning, validation, editing, alongside some local examples to illustrate the processes. We also touched out the challenges the researchers face, such as duplicate entry, inconsistencies, and missing values. Today, we will build upon the foundation by exploring coding and data entry in detail, as well as strategies to deal with the missing data. We will discuss the practical examples from Pakistani businesses, highlight the best practices, and offer the tips to ensure that your dataset is ready for the analysis. By the end of today's lecture, you will have a comprehensive understanding on how to transform a raw survey data into clean, structured, analyzable form, which is crucial for effective decision making. Coding, transforming data into analyzable form. What is coding? Coding is the structure that helps the data preparation process. It involves assigning numerical or categorical values to the raw data, particularly when dealing with qualitative responses. These processes allows the researchers to quantify open-ended responses so that they can be analyzed statistically. Without coding, it would be impossible to identify the patterns, measurable trends, or draw the conclusions from the subjective answers. Coding ensures that the qualitative opinions are converted into structured format that can be easily organized. Open-ended questions which require written responses rather than selecting from the predefined options are main area where the coding is applied. For example, we take the example of local store, a platform in Lahore which will ask the customer what are the main reason of choosing our services. Responses might include the answer like fast delivery, low prices, fresh products, friendly staff. Each of the responses must be coded numerically. For example, 1 for the fast delivery, 2 for lower prices, 3 for fresh products, and 4 for the friendly staff once coded. These responses can be analyzed to determine which factors are the most strongly influencing the customer satisfaction, enabling the businesses to prioritize the improvements. Coding must be consistent across all the responses to maintain reliability. Inconsistent coding and can be misinterpreting the data, leading to flawed conclusion. If one batch of the responses select fast delivery and other batch uses the code second, as an aggregated analysis would be inaccurate. To prevent such errors, researchers prepared the detailed code book. This code book outlines all categorizes their definitions and corresponding responses to the numerical values. It acts as a guideline for data collection and the data collectors all across the dataset. I will discuss here the example of Khadi stores. Customer feedbacks on product quality, design preferences, and shopping experience is collected through structured in-store interviews. Responses are manually coded into categories for the analysis. For example, fabric quality may be coded as 1 and design and pricing may be coded as 2, 3 and so on. This structured coding allows the managers to determine whether areas require improvement or not. Over the time, by analyzing the trends across multiple stores, Khadi can make data-driven decisions about product design, pricing strategies, and staff training programs. So, next we will be discussing data entry, its accuracy and consistency. Once the coding is complete, the next step is data entry, where we clean our data and code it into the categories as I defined earlier to perform the analysis. Common tools for analysis will include SPSS, Google Shield, specialized service. The data entry might seem straightforward, but actually it is critical because the small errors can distort your analysis. For instance, Imagine a customer survey containing 500 responses about weekly purchase and its frequency. If the value is 50 and is entered as 5, the calculated average would be misleading, affecting the business misunderstanding of the consumer behavior. Similarly, misplacing a decimal point in a local expenditure could significantly misinterpret the purchasing patterns. This seemingly small error can have a large consequence when the businesses make operational decision or strategic decision based on the data. Best practices in the data entry will include, first of all, double checking of all the entries before the analysis to catch the obvious errors. Then automated data entry system where possible should be applied. For instance, by directly reporting digital survey responses into databases, automation reduces human errors, especially for large data sets. Using the validation rules such as ensuring age fields only accept numbers between 18 to 100 or the payment of amounts cannot be negative. Then we will be supervising and auditing a sample of entries to identify the errors. Assigning a team leader to review a portion of the dataset ensures overall accuracy. Daraz, Pakistan. Again, I will quote that Daraz, Pakistan uses combination of automated and manual verification system. Online surveys feed responses directly into the database while the research team reviews the outliers, missing fields and inconsistent responses. For example, if a customer rates the product quality as excellent but reports the delivery issues, then the team investigates whether there is a genuine response or the data entry error. This meticulous process ensures the reliability of data sets before it moves forward to the next stage. Then we will discuss how do we deal with the missing data entries. Missing data, as the missing data is one of the most common challenges we face during research. It occurs when the respondents skip some questions and provide incomplete answers. For the responses during the data entry, it is if not handled properly, missing data can affect our result and conclusions. So we need to have a clear vision that before performing the analysis and before putting our data into a statistical tool like SPSS, we need to first figure out all these issues of missing data or misinformation or missing responses through several techniques that we discussed in this in the previous lecture and in this lecture. And this was all agenda of our today's lecture. So after once we have cleaned our data, we have coded our data, we are done with dealing with the missing values and outliers, then we will put our data into analysis tool like SPSS or Smart PLS for further analysis to provide the companies with valuable insights. Thank you so very much. This was all for today's lecture about data preparation and cleaning. In our next class, we will be discussing some separate agendas regarding our subject of marketing research. Till then, take good care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.